Fire.
Okay. All right, something a little different today. It's a beautiful day in January. The sun is out. It's a little breezy, but you know, I got the windows up, so that'll protect me. But I'm gonna take the old girl to a car meetup, just for fun. You know, go see some like-minded folks and show the old girl off a little bit. You know, she's a work in progress, but she's still a pretty car. And every time I go anywhere, I just went for a little drive, just a little test drive here recently, just now, and somebody always waves or says hi or says, "What year is that?" This time it was, "Hey, what kind of engine you got there?" So you know, she's a head turner, so why not, right? All right, so a couple of things to update you on since the last episode. So we had talked about how when Dad and I fired the old girl up for a test, I think it was the number 6 spark plug went flying right out of the side of the engine, and we found it. It was still in the engine compartment, just laid down on the A-frame, and looked at the threads. Everything looked fine, because our initial worry was that it had actually blown it out the side of the engine and just stripped the threads all the way out. Not the case. Pretty sure that it wasn't tight, as tight as it should have been initially. Slowly worked its way out. So prior to my test run this morning, or earlier this afternoon rather, I went through and I each spark plug, I backed them off a little bit and then made sure they were nice and tight. So we're good to go there. I did, in my excitement to get going to this little car meetup, I forgot to bring any sort of tools with me, and I also didn't bring any coolant. Any extra, which I have made a habit of doing in the past. I don't have any with me because when we hooked everything back up again, we put some more coolant in. I think I have a bit of a leak somewhere, and when I disconnected everything, all the interference to take out the valve covers, I had to disconnect coolant hoses, so there was some coolant was lost through that process. So we topped her back off again, and that depleted my ready spare. So I'm gonna need to get gas here. It's, you know, this thing hasn't run consistently since September anyway, and it's now January. So, you know, it'd be good to put some brand new gas in it. And it's a V8, so she drinks. Purposely put in a route to this spot that's going to take a little longer than it ought to. It's only 37 miles from my house to this meetup in a town called Sheffield, which is a little northeast of Norfolk here in Virginia. But I wanted to avoid the interstate. I'd gotten a little too excited over the summer, and I was taking it on the interstate to go to baseball games and such, and I should not have been doing that. I should be sticking.
Next traffic lights, turn right.
Okay, we're going to turn right at the next traffic light. I should be staying on, 45, 55 mile an hour roads. Whenever possible.
Turn right onto Indian River Road.
So that's what we're doing. It's more scenic that way anyway, right? So the other thing, there were two things I was going to update you on. So we took the heater blower motor, took that out, inspected it, make sure it wasn't all full of mouse hotels, and it was not. And the fan works. We bench tested it, which was exciting. There were a few sparks.
In 1 mile, turn left onto Wilson Road.
And then put everything back in, put some new sealant on that. She's all buttoned up good. And she works fine in defrost. She'll blow all kinds of stuff out of the defrost vents right up under the windshield. But none of the other fan settings appear to be operational. Well, are operational. There's no appearance about it. They are not operational at this point. So I have no heat. So I got the windows up, as mentioned. Protects me a little bit. I'm, kind of in a bubble here, which is nice. But there is, of course, the gaping hole at my left foot, which we have shown you in previous episodes. So airtight, the old girl
Go past this line,
is not.
Then at the next one, turn left.
So that's another reason that we're keeping her on
At the traffic lights, turn left onto Wilson Road.
on slower speed roads. It is a beautiful day, though. It's one of the reasons I love living in Virginia. It gets boiling hot in the summer, but man, the rest of the year is just gorgeous. This is January after all, and I'm wearing a pretty light jacket, and I'm cruising at 50 miles an hour in a convertible. What more could you ask for? Well, I don't know what happened, but I got to the place. It was in Smithfield, by the way, not Sheffield. I got that wrong. But I went to the right place, checked the address and everything.
In 2 miles, keep right onto Carrollton Boulevard.
But I got there and there wasn't a soul to be found. There was one car in the parking lot, a Mustang with an antique license plate. But nobody in it, nobody around, nothing. So, got myself something to eat and headed back home once again. We are avoiding the interstate, so it's going to take, even though it's only 38 miles, it's going to take me about an hour and 5 to get there. That's okay, because I love driving this car. I have no memories at all of riding in the Beast as a kid. It was whenever I last rode in it, it was before I started forming memories, apparently, the lasting ones. So I don't ever remember anything but climbing all over this car while it sat in our yard. But I love driving it. Every time I go somewhere, doesn't matter where it is, doesn't matter what I'm doing. I'm always a little sad when I get to where I'm going, and I'm even more sad when I get home again, because that means that the trip is done. And it's fun to be in this car. So, while I didn't get to meet up with anybody, I didn't get to look at any other cars, I got to see a little bit of Virginia that I haven't seen. I've never been to Smithfield before. Now I have. And I get to go for a nice little drive. It's a beautiful Sunday. We do have some clouds, and I got sprinkled on a little bit. And the temperature is definitely dropping as the sun goes down behind me.
Lane to keep right onto Carrollton Boulevard.
But that's okay, because I'm having a blast. we made it home. Didn't get to do the car show or car meetup thing like I wanted to, but went for a good drive. As I've said before, you know, the goal is, as much as possible, to drive the old girl once a week. That way, if things are needing attention, they will present themselves. If I just let it sit and I don't do anything, I don't drive it, I'm not gonna notice when things are going wrong. And it'll be easier to just let it sit and not wrench on it. Whereas if I need to drive it, if I'm due for a drive, I'm gonna be motivated to wrench on it. Anyway, you know all this. You've seen the episodes before. So we're back. We're safe. We made it. Thanks for watching. If you like the channel, please share, like, subscribe, and all that business. If you're not already subscribed, tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your enemies' friends, maybe even the friends of your enemies. Just, spread the word. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Thanks for watching.